Hello friends, welcome to Inside Icon Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Of course, it is going to be a long discussion, and before we discuss further details regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict, first let us see the syllabus mapping, then we will discuss the video components. In terms of syllabus mapping, it is related to current affairs and general studies paper 2. In general studies paper 2, it is related to governance and constitution, polity, social justice and international relations. It is the syllabus mapping and video components. In this video, we are going to discuss about why it is in news. You know the students, in Palestine, there are two factions, Fatah as well as the Hamas. Hamas faction, they led, very rapid strike, lightning strike on Israel, South Israel as well as the Central Israel. That resulted to conflict between the two nations. That is the reason we are discussing now. And we will also see where is the location of this Israel-Palestine and the geography, historical background of this conflict, and Arab-Israel war in 1948-1949. This war resulted, into majority of, Palestinian areas they've been occupied by the Israel. Later, the Israel occupation further increased through Six-Day War. It was in 1967. Then two factions emerged after that, Hamas and Fatah. Later in late 1990s as well as early 2000s, some kind of uprising happened in Palestinian people against the Israeli government. That uprising is known as Intifada, against the Israel occupation. And later we will discuss about the role of America in this entire conflict and what is the India stand. We discuss. So this is regarding the video components. Now first we try to do the map pointing. First you have to understand Israel. It is sharing border with the Mediterranean Sea, and Israel is this entire piece of land is known as Israel, and Palestine is two components. This is one component, this is another component. This component is known as West Bank. Why you are calling West Bank? It is in the west side of the Jordan River. Jordan River goes to where? Dead Sea. Okay, and this is known as Gaza Strip. And beside the Gaza Strip, Egypt peninsula is there. Sinai Peninsula. Actually, it was occupied by Israel in Six-Day War, but later again Israel given back it to Egypt. Recently, COP27 meeting happened on the Egypt Sinai Peninsula, and comment on which place the COP27 meeting was happened. What is the name of the place? Comment. And now we'll try to figure out. Israel is having borders with Lebanon and Syria and Jordan and Egypt, four nations. In the Six-Day War was all about Syria, Jordan, Egypt. They declared war on Israel. And Israel, by knowing this information, preemptive strike. That means before these countries strike on Israel, Israel strike on these countries. And Israel defeated all these three countries. And from Egypt, Israel got the Sinai Peninsula, and they got, East Jerusalem in the West Bank area from the Jordan. And they also got Golan Heights from Syria. So these are the areas, Israel got. Now, the conflict is about this Hamas region. Hamas people who are present in this Gaza. They had an attack in the Central Israel and South Israel. They attacked this South Israel as well as the Central Israel. Hamas attacked. That is the news. That is the reason now we are discussing. And always remember, Israel and USA, they are traditionally friends. And USA, Saudi Arabia, traditionally friends. Here you have to understand, recently Saudi Arabia is tilting towards China. China mediated the peace deal between the Saudi Arabia and Iran. America recognized this. So America wanted, it want to encourage the close relationship between the Saudi Arabia and its friend Israel. If that will happen, then this, the Palestinian people, it is going to be a big blow against the Palestinian people, because Saudi Arabia is one of the leading Islamic country. If it is having good relation with Israel, then these people problems. So no one will listen to these people problem. That is the reason the Hamas, they don't want the deal to be struck. One reason. And one more reason is, second reason is, Hamas believed that the Fatah, also known as Palestinian Liberation Organization, they are not fighting enough against the Israel. So now they want to fight against the Israel, and they want to claim the leadership among all the Palestinians. There is one more reason for the lightning strike. And third one is, Israel is facing the unstable government. In this unstable government, it is the right time that this Hamas attacked on the Israel, because in Israel, this government is try to do judicial reforms. It tried to control the Supreme Court also. Even that was not acceptable to so many people. And the Israel government is a coalition government. For last 4-5 elections, no party able to get clear majority. So now political instability is there, and Hamas want to capitalize that political instability. That is the reason also they done this lightning strike. These are the three reasons. Number one, to to spoil the Saudi Arabia and Israel deal, and the second one is to claim the leadership among the Palestinians, and the third one is to leverage the political instability in Israel. These are the three things. Why it is in news? Israel declared state of war after Palestinian militants. Which militant? Hamas people attacked. And the bordering countries, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, they have the borders to the Mediterranean Sea. And one more thing here you have to understand, this Israel people, Israel majorly consists of Jews people, because they faced persecution in Europe, especially during the Hitler time. They took the help of the British, and Britishers, they allowed Jews to settle in this area of Palestine, because this area is holy place to Jews as well. The Jerusalem is related to Muslims, Christians and Jews as well. So they started settling down here. In 1947, UNO divided this area into two countries, Palestine and Israel. Later, 1948-49 war, then Six-Day War. After these wars, Israel occupation increased, and the Palestine become shrinking to only, and confined to only two regions, Gaza region as well as the West Bank region. And this is how, over the period of time, Palestine map changed. How it got shrinked away, Palestine. That we can understand. 1897, Jews started the Zionist movement. Zionist movement is all about showing solidarity among the Jews against their persecutions. Then in 1916, Palestinian people officially allowed by English people to settle in Israel people officially allowed by British to settle in Palestine region, because Palestine came under the control of British, according to the Sykes-Picot agreement. It was as a part of World War I between the France and England. So as England got this territory from the Ottoman Empire, they allowed the Jews to settle down in this area. In 1917, Balfour Declaration, it clearly said that Jews can establish their homeland in the Palestine. In 1930, due to the Adolf Hitler persecution, more number of Jews started coming and settled down in the Palestine region. In 1947, UNO divided this region into two countries, Palestine and Israel. In 1948-49, countries such as Egypt, Jordan, Iraq, Syria, they declared war on Israel. And in this war, Israel emerged victorious, and that resulted into shrinking of Palestine territory. And this also resulted to creation of Palestine Liberation Organization in West Bank region. Later in 1967, Six-Day War was emerged between Syria, Jordan, Egypt. Like I said earlier, these three countries defeated by the Israel, and these three countries lost respective areas in this particular battle. Later, UNO, with the help of UNO mediation, in 1982, war was happened in 1973. In 1982, Israel accepted to give away Sinai Peninsula to Egypt. It was happened. Later in 1987, Hamas, a faction in Gaza, was established, as well as Fatah, a faction in West Bank. They established, and they started fighting for their own rights. Meanwhile, Intifada means people uprising, people revolt against the Israel government. First Intifada, it was started in the 1987. It was ended with the Oslo Peace Accord. Oslo Peace Accord was mediated by USA and Russia. It was in 1993. It was a peace deal between the Israel as well as Palestine. Later, to strengthen this peace further, Camp David summit was organized, but it was failed because of this. Second Intifada was declared. That means second revolt was declared. Because of that, Israel started tightening the border along the West Bank, and it is not allowed any Palestinian people to come and work in the Israel. That is due to the Second Intifada between 2000 to 2005. Tension between the Hamas and Fatah. Like I said earlier, Hamas is more extreme organization compared to Fatah. They did not like the Fatah attitude towards the Israel government. Even they severely opposed the Oslo Accord as well. Hamas did not accept the Oslo Peace Accord, and they wanted clearly a Palestine country which was there before 1967. That is their Hamas demand. And after that, very frequently, this violence is being erupting between the Palestine as well as the Israel. You know that when the America relations as well keep on changing. We will discuss about the America relation respect to this. Hamas is the Palestinian militant Islamic organization. It operates in Gaza, and it is getting the supports from countries like Iran and countries like Lebanon. In Lebanon, Hezbollah organization is there. It is also supporting this Hamas. Reasons for its creation. Already we discussed about the reasons. And Israel-Palestine conflict and US. Islamic countries always opposed the US involvement in the Israel-Palestine conflict. In spite of that, Israel always took the side of the, USA took the side of the Israel always. Because Israel is mainly dominated by Jews, and the Jews are having some economic and political influence in America. And when Barack Obama was American president at that time, America acted against Israel, even in international platforms such as UNO. But later, when Donald Trump came into power, they were more in favor of the Israel. Even they declared Jerusalem as a capital of Israel. Now, in this entire thing, what Palestine wanted their country pre-1967. How the Palestine was at that time, they wanted that. And they wanted East Jerusalem back. And they also wanted the Palestine refugees to be settled. Okay. And what does Israel wanted? Israel wanted the sovereignty over the entire Jerusalem. And Israel don't want these Palestinian refugees to settle down in Israel. They are okay that these Palestinian refugees, they can settle down in the West Bank and Gaza, but not in the Israel. And Israel also wanted that whatever the territory, it is to be recognized as a separate Jewish state. What is so special about the Jerusalem? Like I said earlier, Jerusalem is an international city. It is claimed by Jews, Muslims and Christians. What is the India stand? In 1947, India severely opposed this UN partition plan. But surprisingly, in 1950, India recognized Israel as a country. And India started, first non-Arab country to have relation with the Palestine Liberation Organization. Till 2014, traditionally, Palestine was our friend. 2015 onwards, Indian foreign policy changed. India started seeing Palestine and Israel in two different countries. This particular, way of dealing is known as a de-hyphenation. That means you are dealing with these two countries individually, separately. In 2018, due to the de-hyphenation, India started improving relation with Israel. Recently in I2U2, you might have seen that. I2U2, it is also known as Quad 2.0, India, Israel, UAE, USA. And in 2019, even India supported Israel in international platform against Palestinian interest. So this is how our foreign policy stand shifted over the period of time. What is the solution? The ultimate solution is creation of the two-state solution. That means Israel as well as the Palestine. Then only we can stop this, this issue, the problem. Then yesterday's video questions. Sela Tunnel project recently seen in news. It is located in which state? Arunachal Pradesh. Sela. Attosecond pulses are used in chemical reactions. They are related to what? Freeze the motion of electrons. It is related to Nobel Prize as well. South Long Lake, located in where? Sikkim. Next, Ichamati River, recently in news. It is a transboundary river between India and what country? Between India and Bangladesh. Next, what is the significance of the R21 Matrix M vaccine? It is the second malaria vaccine approved by the WHO. These are the yesterday's video questions and answer. Let us see today's video question. Today's video question: who took over the Palestine after the downfall of Ottoman Empire? After Ottoman Empire, who controlled the Palestine region? Mains question: discuss about the impact of Israel-Palestina issue on the region and its impact on India's interest. So this Israel-Palestina issue, how it created impact on India's interest. This is the main question. Now, as we reach to the end of this video, we will revise quickly. In this video, we discussed about Israel-Palestina conflict. So we discussed about Israel-Palestina conflict and how this conflict started and what are the border nation to Israel, peace accords, Oslo Accords and Balfour Accords we discussed, and Camp David Accord we discussed, and Intifada. Apart from that, we also discussed about how the map of the Palestine changed over the period of time and the role of USA in this conflict. Apart from that, what is the India stand, how it changed over the period of time. So this is the detailed analysis regarding the Palestine-Israel conflict.